All right. It is great to see you, and we are excited to be here on the West Side this morning. We're proud to announce in recent years our award of Reconnecting Communities grants from the U.S. Department of Transportation and the Biden-Harris administration. Today we get to talk about some of the hard work that we are doing to make sure that we help address some of the challenges of the past. We can't undo the highways and the roadways that separated the West Side from downtown and much of the community. But what we can do is make sure that we bridge divides that have kept communities apart too long. And importantly to me, and I think to many others here, this isn't about connecting this neighborhood to the crossroads or to another area. It's about bringing people here, to the West Side, to Kansas City, and making sure that communities who have been here for generations have the opportunity to be central in a lot of the great improvements you're seeing in our community, from World Cup 2026 to new growth and development around Kansas City. So we are here today to celebrate a next step. We have hired engineering firm WSP to work with us on how we envision our Reconnecting Communities grant. As you see behind us in the frame, we look to improve a number of different things. One, sheer pedestrian, cyclist, and driving connections as you go along both Southwest Boulevard and throughout this community. Also, looking at the long-term future and viability of the I-35 viaduct itself, and then more concerning to neighborhoods currently now, some of the work that we need to do along Southwest Boulevard and Summit in particular, where we have seen more street racing. I'm proud of Michael Shaw and the Public Works team in making sure that soon you will see street grooves that are meant to deter street racing activity, to make us safer here, to make it so businesses can be open, and to ensure that our neighbors, residents, and friends don't have to deal with a lot of the detrimental activities, including gunfire and shootings that we've seen from street racing and other types of activities. So I think this is a great day for Kansas City, even if it's a kind of hot day in Kansas City. I'm proud of the work that Public Works, that our city council, but more importantly, our neighbors, our businesses, our community have done for generations to make sure that the West Side is respected. I hear often that the West Side is the best side. Now, I consider parts of the community to be like children. So, y'all, everybody's my favorite, but I love y'all a lot, right? But more than anything, what I would say is this is a great day, a momentous day in the future of the West Side and the future of Kansas City. With that, I'm happy to turn it over to my colleague, Councilman Christen Ray, who has, in a year in office, he reminded us yesterday, has worked hard to make sure we continue to get more and more resources. And including in those resources that Councilman Ray and his colleague, Councilman Bunch, and City Council have helped us see in just 1 year, the opening of a new swimming pool, making sure that we get more funding and investment here, more sidewalk improvements. We got a lot of pressure, brother, but I know we'll keep delivering year after year. There's Councilman Christen Ray.
Good morning. I want to take a moment to talk about what this community means to me. Certainly as the elected representative for this council district, there's a relationship there and an obligation that I feel to represent the folks here. But it means much more beyond that at a personal level. Now, I grew up on the east side, but all my family grew up on the west side, so I spent a lot of time in this community. I've got my hair cut at the barbershop right behind us since I was about 4 years old. It might not look like it right now because I need a haircut, but I spent a lot of time on this boulevard. I've had family members, a family member lose their life to reckless driving right here on Southwest Boulevard several years ago. Many friends and family and folks that are deeply close and personal to me call this community home. And so it's an honor for me to say that I represent this neighborhood, and exciting for me to recognize all the incredible improvements that we are looking at implementing in the West Side, starting with the Reconnecting grant, starting with the PSP study that's going down Southwest Boulevard. We're going to be receiving the final report on that project soon, and that will give us the roadmap for how we make Southwest Boulevard safer, cleaner, more walkable for the neighborhood residents. These are engagements that have included an incredible amount of public input and outreach to the businesses and folks who live in this area. These are very exciting improvements, and it gives us an opportunity to transform this area in a way like we have never done before, and we get to do it in advance of the World Cup and showcase how vibrant the West Side is and the businesses are, and beyond. As we talk about reconnecting, it's important to be very clear about what is being reconnected, and this speaks to the legacy of this highway, because what we are talking about, first and foremost, is reconnecting the West Side to the West Side. Because what the highway did was tear through the West Side. And that is an important conversation that we need to have. But we're also talking about reconnecting the West Side to the communities and surrounding neighborhoods that the bridge has cut it off from. This morning, as I arrived here, I was grabbing a cup of coffee on the other side of the highway and walked under the bridge and walked my way over here. It's not the first time I've done it, but paying very close attention to how to get from one side of the bridge to the other is always eye-opening, because it is not an easy walk. It's not a pretty walk. It's not clean. It doesn't feel safe. And those are the types of things that we get an opportunity to work with the community to address through this project. So I'm very excited as we move forward and look at public investments and private investments, engage the community on what's important. Thank you all. It's my honor to introduce now an individual that has dedicated his life to this neighborhood. That is John Fierro. He is the longtime executive director of the Mattie Road Center and even longer time Westside resident. John?
Thank you, Councilman. I want to thank Mayor Quinton Lucas. It's always a pleasure to follow you, Mayor. Bienvenidos al Westside. When he comes, it usually signals that there's money behind him. And now with our City Councilman Ray, as the Mayor shared, there's definitely money that's coming into this neighborhood. I appreciate the opportunity. Like Chrisman said, I grew up in this neighborhood just up the hill at West Bluff, 1227 West Bluff to be exact, and would remember coming down here. Those of you that remember, this orange building used to be Johnny's Market. And Johnny's Market was where you got the best chorizo in town, and was there for years to support this neighborhood when we didn't have grocery store amenities. And a lot has changed. We were here a year ago, and we talked about how the highway created this social isolation, cutting us off from the rest of the city, just like highway systems around the country. And today's announcement is really to affirm the West Side is no longer cut off from this city. We are part of the city. And that has happened because of the perseverance of business owners along Southwest Boulevard. It's happened because of the residents who annually have fought to get monies to repair sidewalks, to repair parks, to create a better neighborhood. And I just want to acknowledge them, because without their leadership, we would not be here. I would not be here. And so I look forward to working with the planning group, in particular to hearing from our residents, from our business owners. I know one of the local stations did a piece this morning that interviewed a few individuals, young individuals, family members, business owners, and that is our future. And I just want to make sure that whatever Mattie Road Center can do to align itself with the needs of the community, we will support them, we will support our city. And again, Mayor Lucas, Councilman Ray, thank you for your leadership. I also want to acknowledge, obviously, we are at a good place right now in terms of Hispanic leadership. We have Councilman Jonathan Duncan. We also have Jackson County Legislator Manny Abarca. These individuals have worked tirelessly together to improve resources for us, for our Latinos in Kansas City. So again, thank you very much.
I appreciate you.